Welcome back to the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. I'm Inquisitor Temperance Price, keeper of the Inquisition's Black Library, and this is the third volume in a report on the Valentyne Heresy, an actual play podcast set in the Genesis adaptation of Warhammer 40,000's Dark Heresy RPG. This report features Game Master Tom McGee and players Ryan LaPlante as Inquisitor Lucius Valentyne, Tyler Hewitt as Attikus Viz, Laura Hamstra as Eli Sharp, and Della Borovic as Morgan Rawls. My report shows that the Inquisitorial band is in a deadly bind. Morgan and Eli had bombs injected into their bodies, in addition to losing the Chaos Space Marine, Valentyne's weapons, and Attikus' right to host the next event. Meanwhile, Valentyne and Attikus began the hunt with no plan and no help. Can our heroes survive the hunt and the King's attention? Find out next in this episode of the Valentyne Heresy.
From the Lizardman letter. Live updates. Seems we're off to an interesting start, darling. Is that a flash of metal I see amidst the smoke? Also, one does wonder whatever the captain could have said to arrive late and yet with her man Clarence alive. Good luck, Captain. It would seem you might need it. You are, after all, falling further behind. Morgan, Eli, gates open. You just arrived. You had your frosty conversation with the Inquisitor. You're worried you have a microphone injected into your lower neck skull situation. There is smoke. There is chaos around you, and Valentyne and Attikus have disappeared into the smoke. What do you do?
It's fine. What did the king give her? Because he said he was going to give her a location on this animal that was wounded.
Gave you nothing, but said, don't worry about it. It'll be cool.
Great. Okay. So, she's going to turn to Eli. Clarence, keep your head on a swivel. We are hunting our prey, and I'm certain there are other dangers about here. Also, just warning you, if I do happen to collapse, I would appreciate you carrying me and then continuing the hunt with my gun.
Of course. Wait, are we hunting? We're still hunting?
We are hunting. The king told me he would like a show, and we are not going to disappoint him. And she is going to run off into the smoke. And then whenever they're on the other side of it, probably try to catch one of the servo skulls, like they're all floating around and stuff, and make eye contact with one. And lean into that and just, Lizardman, if you are watching this feed, I hope you are still betting on this rogue trader, for I will give you something to watch. And then she's going to run in there. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm assuming if I disappoint this king guy, he could just blow my head up at any point. So we're going to just run in there. She's got her gun. We have to find what the fuck is going on. And then if we find out what the fuck is going on, maybe we can banter to Lord Van Houten. But in the meantime, going to try and stay away from him in case we fucking explode.
Fair point. Eli, you've been told to keep your head on a swivel. There was utter chaos as you step out of the smoke. What do?
Eli is running after Morgan. He doesn't want to lose sight of her. And he's looking the fuck around. He is as vigilant as ever.
That sounds like a check we should roll.
Sure.
So go ahead and give me vigilance, please.
That's fine. Okay. What's my difficulty?
I'm going to say difficulty 3.
Okay.
I'll give you a boost for, I think, being rather well equipped for look for threats on all sides.
Yep.
In a panic situation. This would be worse if it was like quiet, but in a chaotic thing, I think you're good. Yeah.
We have no story points?
We're sitting at 1 and 4 in my favor.
Okay, I'm just going to roll. 2 success, 1 advantage.
Okay. So coming a little bit late out of the gate as Morgan is making her like big declaration to the servo skull, you can just catch the edges of some of the combatants disappearing in. It would seem you can see there's a small, well, I guess everyone only has a second, so there's only ever 2. You can see a heavily camouflaged duo, one of whom is honestly, they're not dressed that dissimilarly from Attikus and Valentyne. there's a sort of a big hulking kind of professional soldier moving forward with with a gun up, and someone kind of shuffling awkwardly along beside them, wearing basically a full ghillie suit, so like a full cloak with like twigs and everything else on it, and is sort of clearly struggling to keep up, but is tracking them into the woods.
Do I recognize either one?
They're both got their back to you, so no.
Okay.
But you see them going in one direction, and you see a flash of sort of almost a carbon gray metal, like a metal structure of some sort, moving in a different direction. But just like you see some trees like shuffle and rustle, and you see just like a flash of metal moving through them.
Like could be Attikus's arm metal?
No.
Oh.
Like there's a corner, like the edge of a slab.
That's moving.
Mm-hmm.
The shit. Varn?
Yes.
There's more than just animals here.
Oh, all right.
Can I pursue that thing?
If you want.
I want to see what we're up against.
Should I accompany you?
I think it's best we stick together.
All right.
Okay, so roll me I assume you're trying to do this stealthily, or are you trying to do this quickly?
Both.
Okay, we can call it.
I think stealth is better
That's fine.
because
We
I
can-
don't know what the hell this thing is.
We can call it a stealth check.
auto turret or some bullshit. That's
Yeah.
I don't know what's.
We can call it a stealth check. We'll just
Set up
fuck with the
here?
difficulty based on the speed at which you're trying to stealth.
But I'd rather know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah. Okay. So this is going to be stealth. This is difficulty 3.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend a story point to jack it up. So 1 red, 2 purple. Disadvantage for all the foliage, and kind of like trying to stealth through that. Advantage for the fact that this thing is big enough that it's making a fairly clear
Yep.
pathway. Yeah.
Okay. Right, I'll just roll.
Go for it.
We're having a nice time.
5 advantages, 1 failure.
5 advantages, 1 failure. Okay, so you begin to chase after it, and almost immediately your foot twists in a root, and it just causes you to kind of like wince in pain and stumble. As you do so,
Not the bionic foot, obviously.
no,
God
just
damn it.
the squishy foot. As you struggle back up, this thing is clearly gone, and gone enough that chasing it would be a pain in the ass. It is moving very quickly.
Okay.
That said, you got a fuck ton of advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So you can pass that forward, or you can spend, because you got how much advantage? Like
5.
So you can send 2 forward.
I'd like to check the advantage spend
yeah,
chart.
please do,
Just give
because
me
I
a
think there
sec.
might be some other shit you can get.
I want to. This is getting too fucky.
Yep.
I know what you're talking about. This is all going exactly to plan. It's perfect.
Remember when this was going to be about having to attend dances?
Mm-hmm. We taught
The
Attikus
dance
how to
is
dance.
Still coming.
Yeah.
I think.
So I can spend them all, right?
Yep.
Doing okay. Let's just pass a boost each to 1 to Morgan, 1 to Attikus, and then the other 1 to whoever's next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So you struggle back up, having felt advantageous to your fellow party members. The thing is gone, and as the two of you begin to move back towards the jungle, there's a rustling of bushes just kind of to your right, Morgan, and a camo painted servo skull just kind of like flies up alongside you. And just its vox just kind of crackles a little bit, and you can hear, "Hello, Captain. I've been asked by the king to show you to a certain location, if you would be so kind."
looking at Clarence of just this. Get a load of this. We could be walking into a trap vibe, but thank you.
Eli just kind of tilts his head and shrugs his shoulders like, what the fuck else are we going to do?
We needed just that moment of understanding between the two of us, but we're going into this.
Yeah, we're fucked. We're fucked, but
we're going into it. Yes. Thank you. Please lead the way.
Certainly. It would be our pleasure. Here at Eco Game, we only care about making sure you have the best possible hunting experience. Follow me, please.
Mm-hmm. And Morgan will follow.
Okay. Meanwhile, Attikus and Valentyne, you are moving into the jungle. Valentyne, you're checking your wrist map as you scan for targets. Attikus, what is your hunting strategy right now?
Attikus is not a hunter per se, so I think he's just going to look for evidence of something big moving through the jungle. Something big must be something dangerous, must be an apex creature of some kind. The biggest trophy must be the best trophy.
Okay.
So this is not any of these creatures' natural habitat as far as he's aware. So creatures moving through the jungle, breaking trees, breaking pathways through and things like that. He wants to kind of see if he can spot a recently formed trail by a large creature.
Can I get a survival check from you, please? Or perception, I guess I would take either one. It's one of those weird midpoints where it's like technically survival is like, how do you survive out in the wilderness? But I feel like perception would track just as easily here. So
I got a thing in survival. I got a rank.
Give me difficulty of 2. There's lots of animals that are running around in here.
Add a boost.
I got a boost from Eli. I never used my boost from last episode.
Yep, you can use that.
Thank you.
Doesn't go away. And Eli, you gave 1.
I gave 1 to the next check, plus 1 to Attikus, and 1 to Morgan.
Perfect.
So this is the next check. Yeah.
Yep. So you have 2 from Eli, 1 from you.
Okay.
Nice. Valentyne.
Yes.
Would you be using your auspics and your just general you searching and map everything to be looking for ambushes or to be helping him hunt?
I mean, it's kind of a bit of both. If he's watching the map, it's like, where's life sign? Life sign could be animal. Life sign could be person with gun trying to kill us. The odds of his auspics being able to pick up like a servo skull with an attached weapon is relatively minimal. So I'm like, it's really just life sign searching. So I think it would assist.
Okay, so basically I think my actual question is, would you be helping in the hunt or would you be helping in are you on the offense or defense? Offense being like, I'm helping you hunt a creature.
How long is the hunt?
I'm inclined to say until everyone brings a trophy in, quite frankly.
Great. Then he would be on defense. Because if there was a time portion, then it's like, okay, we let it ride. If we get into the hunt, it starts to go to shit in a bit, then he'll start volunteering more help. But right now, it's like, make sure we don't get murdered. Let Attikus hunt. If Attikus turns out to be very bad at hunting, he can help more.
Yeah, because the king legitimately loves hunting. This is really meant to be a like, oh, this will take as long as it takes, and won't that be a treat for all of us? Like, I came to watch NASCAR for a long time. I did not come to watch NASCAR for 5 minutes.
Super.
Drive more.
Yeah, then fully defensive.
Okay, great. So no boost from Valentyne then. So Attikus, I think that's all I've got for you. Currently, story points are sitting at 2 and 3 in my favor.
All right, I'm going to roll as is.
Cool.
I'm rolling survival. 2 successes.
Okay. So you start to find pathways. Again, I think as a guy who barrels through stuff, like it's pretty easy to be like, oh yeah, that'd be me. So yeah, you start to get on the track of some larger things. You see some small animals kind of skittering around, but like nothing that would be trophy worthy. So you begin to move kind of further and further into the jungle. Valentyne, can you please roll me what your normal investigation piece would be, plus auspics, plus boost from map.
Okay, what's my difficulty?
This is a difficulty of 3, please.
Anything else you want to add?
Maybe 1 for your eyes.
Great. All righty, I'll go for it.
Yep.
Holy shit. 8 advantage and a triumph. Laura, can I have that spell chart? I'll give you a second to think on the triumph there, Tom, if you want. Or,
Yeah, I got some
pretty
ideas.
nuts
I
right
think
now.
I got
Look
it.
at your
I got it. But
delicious
you let me know. Just
This shit's nuts.
Get in here.
buy a dreadnought.
Some of it depends on like if it's because some of it's stuff that applies like right now
In combat,
versus stuff
yeah.
that can carry later. So I'm like, odds are nothing is happening right now. So okay, well let's find out
Let me
what's
tell you what's happening, and you can tell me how.
Let's find out what's happening. And I'll
Great.
figure out what I'm going to do with it.
So with the triumph, you're following. Attikus is starting to find routes. You're starting to move through them with him, and then looking at your map, you can see that there is one of the warden marked kind of like, we need an animal in aisle 3 platforms. So just kind of on instinct and just on a feeling, you kind of like put a hand out to stop Attikus. Attikus, you stop. And sure enough, ahead, you can see that the sort of manhole cover piece is about 3 inches higher than it should be. So it's not actually in the ground anymore. It is above the ground slightly. And again, looking at your map, it's like this is a good spot. So you hold still for a second there. And as you're kind of like hunkered down, you see someone from a lesser house. This is someone you wouldn't recognize. They're dressed basically in like just a standard kind of like jungle commando outfit. So it's just kind of like green khaki with, it's not even really that camouflaged. They are definitely wearing one of the pith helmets. They have a kind of a classic rifle. Their second literally looks like a caddy, more so than that you guys is like battle caddies. This is like carrying ammunition, water. And you see the manhole cover lift slightly. And you see a barrel just kind of emerge, and it tracks them both, and then the barrel pulls back in, and the cover comes down.
Interesting. Okay. Ooh, this is good. Okay. I got a pitch for you, Tom. Because I have a lot of advantage.
You have a lot of advantage.
There are 2 things that cost 3 advantage that I would like to build into the narrative. If possible, again, feel free to shoot this down and we can negotiate. One of the things is you can force a target to drop a melee or ranged weapon they are holding. You can also negate the targeted enemy's defense.
Yep.
That'd be 6 advantage. And then for 2 advantage, I could perform a free maneuver. So here's my pitch. Having spotted this through quick military sign, because thank God Lord Van Houten also knows Imperial Guard sign because it's a universal language. Basically, he wants to send Attikus around to get spotted. And the moment the rifle is tracking, dash using his free maneuver to kick the rifle out of the hands of the person underneath and disarm them, and then just haul them up and pin them down on the ground from inside the hole.
Okay. Yeah, I'd buy that.
Does that work?
Yep. You have a lot of advantage. We haven't been able to spend it on anything fun in a while, so why not?
Yeah, that's
You
why I'm
rolled a
like,
triumph.
we do the spend, try to catch this person.
Okay.
Great. So Attikus, you
I wheel around, give kind of a wide berth, and then begin to walk across what is clearly like their kill box or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. And so as you do that, Valentyne, you start to run. That said, I'm going to need an athletics from you.
Sure.
Because it is not tracking Attikus. It is aiming to fire at Attikus immediately.
Yeah.
So we're going with although, I mean, agility actually seems like the better bet here. So I would take either, I guess, coordination or athletics. Because I don't want to like ruin reflex to like leap out and stop a thing. This is going to be difficulty 3 because it's a little bit of a hike, but you're also already doing it. So it's the kind of thing where it's like you're just speeding up. I'm going to say a setback just for, again, that like, oh shit, I need to go lurch speed. But that's it. This was already planned action, and you won't need to roll to like disarm them or anything else. All that goes off as is.
This is just, do they get a shot off before I get there?
It's just you were hoping that they would track and do a thing, and instead they're just like, oh, pot shot.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to use the story point.
Yep,
This
seems reasonable.
definitely feels mission specific.
Yeah, I will too. Why not?
Okie dokie. Could we argue a boost because I was lined up and ready to run?
Yes.
Great. And then I'm like, I don't have any additional cells. That just feels like a pretty honest roll. Let's go for it. Oh, Tomo, I got some weird shit, buddy. You ready for some weird fucking shit?
Always, baby, hit me.
I have 4 advantages, 4 failures, and a triumph.
Interesting.
I got a pitch for you if you want to hear it. If you've got it, because I'm always happy to hand it over.
No, man. You give me what you got.
Dashes forwards, gunshot misses, hauls guy out, but in the process, accidentally kills guy.
Yes.
Like just the as he kicks the rifle away, the strap catches the guy's neck.
Well,
goes again, kills him.
yeah, here's what I think I'll give you to just tidy it up a bit. You start to run, you realize he's going to fire, so instead you just boot the manhole cover down, so it just like crunches his neck, gun goes off.
Yeah.
But rather than having to like kick the gun and get all the way around, it's just literally like almost like a sliding kick into it. So you save Van Houten, but
Kill target.
Kill the target. Yep.
Great.
But you can drag him out now.
He does that. Oh, yeah, he's going to.
Great. So gunshot cracks off into the air, and you can hear applause in the distance because it sounds like the first hunting shot has been taken.
Yeah, and Valentyne just says to himself, I'm going to take the win. He's just going to shift the manhole cover aside and haul this body out. What's he seeing?
So it is
His prize.
Yeah. It's a guy dressed in like what you would, I think visually, it's similar kind of to how you've been describing things, where it's like a vaguely sloppy professional, where this looks like the Walmart assassin outfit. So it's, black, it's got lots of pouches, it's, rifle, bullets, balaclava, and, like well, I mean, they're hiding in the hole, they're not out in the woods. So there's a cloak, like a ghillie cloak on the ground, on the thing's feet. And there's also a dead animal in the corner. But there's no house insignias or anything. It's just a dude.
Cool. He would take quick pics using his data slate of just like this dude. He's not expecting anything in the pockets. Clearly this is there. Quick question for you, Tom. Is there a tunnel back into the underground processes? Like, are there tunnels that have access to these?
There are, yeah. You'd have to hack into them. But yes, the wardens would you can think of it basically as like, on a stage when you have to have someone like ascend through the bottom of the stage. It's that kind of situation where there's probably like a long central like pipes, almost like a sewer that has little like offshoots into these.
Yeah, I was just wondering because if it was down far enough, you could get into the sewer if they trapped this gunman in this position.
Sorry, in terms of,
let's say Valentyne was looking at this. I'll tell you exactly what Valentine's thinking. If this motherfucker had an exit plan that went into the tunnels under the ground where we could go pick off other hunters because they're not expecting people from behind them, I think a trophy of assassins seems pretty fucking good. We got one. Let's just dump his body, go in underground, because I've got a map that shows, theoretically, the tunnel routes if we've got the design.
It shows you where the manhole covers are, from which you could very easily ascertain.
That's what I mean, is we can
Curious doesn't fuck around down there, but he does know. Because basically for him, it's like the landscaper's like, what are we going to do with this manhole cover? He's like, cover it in moss. All right, next.
Yeah.
So
we know the placement.
You can triangulate a rough.
Yeah, so there's Valentyne just as you arrive, just being like, well, it seems we have assassins active in the field. And at the same time, we have access to the tunnel network behind them all, and we know where they are. My lord, would you like to go hunting assassins?
Oh, yes, very much.
And maybe in a confined space where your fist would be most useful.
Oh, hardly any sport in that, I suppose, but what can you do?
Such is life. It'll be so depressing if you have to fight a series of assassins inside small boxes with your power fist.
I'll make do somehow. Attikus will stoop down and just wants to, he'll place a hand on the balaclava and say, what do you suppose the odds are, sir? And just draw the guy's mask off. Do we recognize that
It
face?
is not the guy.
Well,
And you do not recognize the face.
Well, the odds weren't great, so we'll take a win. Here's the other question I have for you, Tom. This outfit. Is it Attikus sized?
No, but it is Valentine sized.
Well then, time for an adventure. And he's just going to start stripping down, and he's going to put the balaclava on and all the other equipment. He's going to hand Attikus the hunting rifle, and he'll take this motherfucker's rifle. Yeah. And now Valentyne can go through the tunnels looking exactly like an assassin.
Can you roll me a quick ascertain what happened here? Is that only for crime scenes, or is that just like...
Well, it's a crime scene now.
I think
someone got murdered.
I think I might be crossing your grim psychometry from D&D into this.
No. So this is reconstruct the scene. So it's just if he's looking at a scene, he can try to put it together. It's not specifically crime.
This is specifically details about the guy. So maybe give me
this would say
perception rather than that.
For each success, you identify the prominent characteristics of an NPC who was at the scene in the last 24 hours.
Please.
Okay, cool.
I mean, you're stripping him, so you're getting a good look at him.
Yeah.
Where has his penis been?
Yeah. He's just like one of the guys from Prison Break. He just has his whole life story tattooed on his chest and back. Yep. It's like, oh, interesting. Oh, that's who you work for. Well, specific ink.
1 success and 2 advantage.
Okay, so from that, you can tell that this guy definitely looks like he was living lean in a society full of people who are generally pretty like well-fed and a society that you would view as soft. This guy is hard. A little more gaunt, clearly a little more rough and tumble, and particularly as you're stripping him down, like you notice like, thick fingers, calluses, muscle that's clearly kind of been built from hard work. This guy looks like a laborer of some sort.
Yep. Valentyne would suit up. He would keep his like dress shirt breastplate on and underneath it because he's wearing his fucking rosette because he didn't leave that anywhere, so that stays under it all.
Man.
And
Good
then the suit goes on top. Yeah, that shit does not leave his person. And as they go down and start to make their way into the tunnels, he would also pull the other guy's body in and the clothes in and close the manhole because like no sign. He doesn't want anybody stumbling across bodies. Right now, this has become Knives in the Dark time, which is Valentyne's favorite.
All right, so the two of you descend into the underground network. Meanwhile, Eli and Morgan, you're making your way following the theoretical eco game servo skull that's taking you through. Eli, I know you're pissed off that you lost sight of the mechanical thing. Would you be continuing to try and spot that as you go, do you think? Or are you focused on...
He's looking for any movement out of the corner of his eye. Anything that moves is a potential threat. So he's not looking specifically for it. He's looking for everything.
Okay. So let's get another vigilance from you, please.
Yeah, okay.
This time it's difficulty 2 because you're not looking for anything specific. You're just like, what the fuck's going on around us? I will give you a boost for not having to really look where you're going because the skull is leading you. Okay. As I mentioned, they like quietly manicured the space in a non-obvious way to just give, like, there's no like path worn into the ground, but there just don't happen to be any of the branches or shit that you tripped over, so you're being guided that way. And I think that's what I would say from that side of things.
Cool.
Yep.
I'm rolling.
Cool.
3 successes, 1 threat.
Okay, so we'll pass the threat forward as a disadvantage, or setback rather, to the next roll. With your successes, you can see, you don't catch sight of the mechanical thing. You do see some groups from other houses, some of the lesser houses. They were in the race, but they were all kind of near the back, and you were obviously on the ground. So
they're not real contenders.
They're really not. Their play, as you understand it from Hugh Smiggleton, is to increase their status. Like, I'm sorry I keep leaning on Formula One, which I know is something that none of us watch, but my dad's really big into it, so I've watched a lot over time. And there's like people who win every race or are like number 1, number 2, number 3. They're always in pole position, always on the podium. And then there's like a whole bunch of people in the back who are just clawing their way up for slightly better position each race to someday maybe be a contender to lose to that person by a couple points rather than the whole thing. So all of these folks are vying for like literally like none of the nobles would even necessarily recognize it. For them, it's all like shifting up and down. It's the minor houses in Game of Thrones, just being like, well, we're not the Starks, but like this is our corner.
They could take 96th place this year.
Yeah, kind of, because it's like one day, and then you've got.
I get it. We all know the top 10 in the ATP and the WTA.
There you go.
Yeah, and then everyone else
the
is like, we don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, exactly.
Top 10 in the ABC. Yep.
And given Wixthrope's kind of like mystique, there is also a chance that he could just go full Prince and the Pauper and be like, you. So you can see them moving through it. I think, like Eli, they'd be frustrating in the way that you think of most like non-military people playing it at army are. You do catch sight again, though, of the large military bearing guy and the person who's struggling a bit. You actually see them catch the ghillie suit on a branch and kind of like struggle with it angrily and sort of throw it to one side. And you recognize.
Am I getting this? Oh, I recognize.
Yeah, you recognize Tertimus Versailles, which would make sense because
he's the ghillie suit bumbling one. Okay, I was gonna say. Which one is?
Yeah. So you would remember that he's still real fucked up about like having crash landed. So it's very clear that he has brought a second who is like a big shoesty man, so that he doesn't. In modern terms, it'd be I'm going to bring a big game hunter with me on my safari. They're going to shoot the creature, and then I'm going to take the gun and shoot the thing as it's dying. So he's clearly in here to hunt. He's clearly here, but like you can tell as you watch his gait that like he may actually have he may be using 2 canes because like he barely survived that crash like 2 days ago. Yesterday. Today's the hunt. Yesterday. So
that's right.
Really?
Yeah.
I think there was one day.
There was one day.
There was one day. There was one day.
Yeah, because there's the grace period. So like you can tell that he is also weirdly, this probably raises him in your esteem slightly because like he must be an excruciating pain to be out
would
here.
Probably raise him in Eli's esteem if Eli gave a shit about any of these people.
Sorry, I mean as a threat. Like he rises on your threat rate. Not I respect this guy. He's tough.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to be clear. Like
fuck him.
Fuck all these people. Am I right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think we've all agreed.
That's all we have now.
All we have is impotent rage against the rich.
There we go.
The blend with us is too real in real life.
Yeah, it's method acting. All right, so so you recognize them. He like angrily pulls his cloak back down and just like gestures in a kind of a forward way, and the two of them sort of continue on into the jungle.
Okay.
Don't necessarily have to do anything with this right this minute. I just wanted you to be aware that.
Okay. Are they headed in like different direction from where we're going?
They are. Yeah, they're kind of like up ahead to the left, and you guys are kind of veering up to the right.
Okay, then not going to worry about them for now. We just have to follow this stupid skull. Just know he's out there is good to know.
Cool.
And we'll tell Morgan.
Yep. So Morgan, you continue to follow the skull, and then all of a sudden the skull, like you get told this information, so you've got that.
Yep.
The skull begins to tremble a bit, and you hear some kind of crackling static coming off of it. And then all of a sudden it just stops and floats abruptly such that you like walk into it. It kind of like almost takes the wind out of you a little bit, like kind of hits you in the gut. And then it just kind of quickly adjusts and floats up next to your ear. And you hear Lizzo Lizardman say, "Now would be a good time to duck, darling."
We are gonna. Is Eli close enough for me to grab?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab Eli by the coat and I'm gonna flat on the ground.
And as you do so, one of the manhole cover hatches pops up a few feet to your right. Of course, you guys don't have a map, so you wouldn't have seen that.
Yeah.
Pops up, and literally, like another Walmart assassin comes up with like a small, like submachine gun, like in modern parlance an Uzi, but think like a.
It's an auto gun in 40K.
Yeah, it'd be like a stubby auto gun. Like this is a real like hive type weapon, and just sprays fire over where the two of you just were. Okay. Leaves get torn up and like branches rip up around you as they just like spray back and forth, and then you just hear a voice be like, "Hey, wait, where the fuck did they go?" Dropping the clip and then like stumbling through a pocket.
If I had my rifle in my arms and then we drop to the ground, can I just lean and point the gun and try to shoot this person?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead with a ranged attack, please. They are pretty close by, so your range band is 2. Yeah.
Okay.
You get I'll give you a boost for being prone.
Yep.
Aiming a sniper rifle is a nice way to be.
I get a boost from Eli, and then my sniper rifle always gets a boost because it's accurate. Because it's a sniper rifle.
Yep.
Eli has had so much frustration about not being able to fight that Laura, literally went into like an imaginary mental reverie of Eli's past and just close combat. Oh, someone's fumbling. Oh, he's just grabbing that shit and just like, chain axe. Like it was like
He's having a moment.
I think it's safe to say that you're crawling immediately. Like as soon as as the gun is firing, you're just like
He's coming in. Coming in hot. All right.
Just always imagine it's in Predator, just the guys are like, gonna have me some fun, just like getting in there.
All right. And I'm just going to roll this.
Do it.
All right. That's what I like to see. 4 advantages and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Jesus.
How much damage does your rifle do?
It does 8 plus 6 now, 14. And that does crit 3, so I can get a crit off of it too if 14 is not enough to murder this person.
I was going to say, like, you can crit the corpse if you want. But yeah, just the bullet punches straight through. Would you be doing headshot or
Headshot.
chest? Yeah.
Headshot
So head
straight
just
through the face.
explodes with a bullet. And just like as the Uzi, like as the little stubby auto gun, like ejects the cartridge, and there's just like another hand holding the cartridge, just fumbling like as the lights go out, as the computer gets shut off, and just kind of like the body falls forward, dropping a magazineless gun and a magazine pretty much into your path as you crawl forward, Eli.
Eli, he just kind of very, very lively for someone kind of like his build and stuff, like just kind of crawls the rest of the way forward and just like gently takes it in with smooth motion, gun, clip together, whatever he has to do to to get it ready to fire, and just looks back at Morgan, nods.
Morgan will stand up and like huffing, but turn back to the servo skull and just, thank you, darling.
Hi, I'm sorry. I think I lost you for a second there. This is still Priscilla at Eco Game. Are you still with us there, Captain?
Oh, yes, we are continuing on our hunt.
Okay, please stand by while we regain visual. I'm so sorry. These servo skulls are so touchy. Oh, and there we are. Oh, hello. Okay, great. So if you'll just please continue following me this way, your prey awaits.
Perfect. And I'm going to keep following the skull and keep a nod to Eli of like, let's keep this up.
Yeah. Eli,
keep doing this.
Eli's keeping more of an eye at ground level now.
Mm-hmm. So as you continue to kind of make your way forward, both of you notice as you do so that the servo skulls around you keep turning away. Just like whenever you approach one, they just turn slightly before you reach them. So I'm going to need a vigilance, I think, from you again, Eli, and honestly probably from you as well, Morgan, which is just, unfortunately, you lack the map that Valentyne was working from.
Yeah. Vigilance, could I argue for Streetwise, or is that not?
Nah.
All right.
There's no streets in the jungle.
How hard is it?
You son of a bitch. All right. What's
so I'm going to say
challenge that argument. It's too good.
Difficulty 3. I'll say a setback for the jungle.
Okay.
It does make things.
Morgan get a boost?
Can I have I had one
advantage
left after
You do,
critting.
and I was passing forward one disadvantage, which I forgot to give you for the shooting, so I'm going to give it to you, Eli, for your vigilance.
Another setback?
Yes. Because I'm being nice and not giving it to fucking Morgan, who's going to fail the hell out of his roll.
This roll's over.
I'm spreading the pain around.
Does she get a boost from her advantage?
Yes, she does.
Yeah,
I
okay.
took it.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes.
In this crazy world of Genesis where you get good and bad constantly raining down upon you.
I'm using my Emperor's Blessing to add 2 boost once per session to any skill check.
Hot damn.
Because
all right.
the Emperor is with me, and god damn it felt good to
You have a gun in your hand
get
now.
a gun in my hand.
Yeah, you got the Emperor.
The
in your
Emperor
hand.
gave you
He's
a
with
gun.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of
Those
course.
hands were Jimmy Space's hands as soon as the head was gone.
Yeah. It's like a glow, like angelic choir.
With the clip and everything.
Cool. Okay.
That it?
This is so close.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't like this. I don't like it.
I don't want to push a button, but I'm gonna.
2 successes, 1 threat.
Okay.
I got 2 advantages, but 4 failures. That's
4
where
failures.
I'm at.
Okay.
I'm tired. I'm in a jungle and I'm tired.
Fair point.
I got a guy for this. I just
Yeah. So yeah, I think at this point it's like there's sweat in your eyes. You're barely awake.
My back feels terrible.
Yeah, you've lost a lot of blood. And I think like as satisfying as like dropping to a crouch and snapping off a quick shot was, that also just took it out of you.
Yeah,
like,
getting up wasn't easy.
Yeah.
I got winded running into the skull and then falling on the ground. I'm just...
It's like not a great day for Morgan. Nope. So no good. And you got but did you get a ton of advantage?
I got 2 advantages.
Okay, so not a bunch.
I can give that. I'm gonna give that over to Eli. I give that boost.
Yep, sounds
passing
good.
it on to my guy.
And Eli, you got
2 successes, 1 threat.
2 successes, 1 threat. Okay. So you are the next one to spot one of these assassins. This one though is actually moving through the trees.
Oh shit. Okay.
In a cloak, and you can tell they're not one of the competitors because the ghillie suit looks like shit.
Yep.
It's like the equivalent of fake plants you get at the dollar store leaves. So they're very like frayed plastic at the edges, but also there's no second. It's just a singular person. And you can tell that they're moving up. They've got a shotgun and are trying to get close enough to get a clean shot. But you can also tell they're kind of squinting.
So
through the
they're
trees.
looking for us?
They seem to be looking around.
They're just looking around.
Yeah, and like we'll probably see, like they will see you soon, but you can tell they're moving through the trees kind of like, weapon up, looking for targets.
For lack of a better term, Elmer fudding it.
Yes, 100%. It's Wabbit season. But before we roll any cool attack shit, Laura, can you roll me a perception, please? You get boost from
Sorry, perception.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm not.
Well, you've got your boost
Perceptive.
from coming in from Morgan.
Yep.
I'm going to pass that setback from your previous roll forward to this as well.
Nice.
We're in this together.
Yeah, I think that's it for me.
So difficulty.
Difficulty of 2. You rolled well. You got some successes.
Okay. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like it. This is just a perception. God damn it. Fuck me.
It's going to be great.
Oh, fuck, it's gonna be fine. Hey, 1 success, 2 advantages.
Cool. You notice one of the further on. You notice one of the lesser houses kind of moving by. The assassin raises the shotgun and then kind of does one of those like looking, kind of like peering up and over, and then it kind of settles back in and,
He's looking for
continues to look. But you've spotted him. So what do you do?
Pew 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 pew.
Is that how Eli thinks
Little
about it?
stealthy little pew-pews.
Eli thinks nothing. There is no thought. There is just decades of training of, this is my target. I recognize my target. Target should be eliminated immediately. So the thought is gun up.
Amazing. So
the thought is gun up.
Yeah, fair enough.
firing.
So yeah, you raise like finger already like depressing the trigger. You raise the small auto gun up. Just as there is a roar off to your right and a crashing of branches, as Priscilla says, "Oh, good news! It would seem our prey found us." As the biggest fucking steroided up Ehrlich you've ever seen tears through the trees and leaps at Morgan.
This episode of the Valentyne Heresy features the voices of players Ryan LaPlante, Tyler Hewitt, Laura Hamstra, and Del Borovic, alongside Game Master Tom McGee. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and the Valentyne Heresy's artwork was created by Del Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC. Our theme song is The Hordes by Megan McDuffie, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR. All of their music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com. or find us on social media at DumDumDice. That's DUMBDICE. Ave Imperator, and death to all the heretics.
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Guy Edwards, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Garbo Ape, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia De Los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Nomad, the Wise Paladin of the Badlands, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, Gus Schreider, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Old Man Mojo, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.